Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today, we're playing Orwell, Ignorance is Strength. Now, this is the second game in the Orwell series. I don't know what we're going to experience here because, as I recall, Orwell seemed to be the target of quite a bit of suspicion at the end of our last game, so I wonder what's going to happen this time. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Congratulations, you've been selected for special duty. Let's see, do they have the same picture we had before? No, we have to be a new person. Let's be completely normal person, I guess. Like, totally boring. I mean, hey, she has brown hair. That's what we're going for? Alright. Liara. Be diligent. Your duty is to safeguard the nation. Please agree to the following terms. I am willing to severely affect the lives of citizens and non-citizens of the nation. I will do whatever is necessary to keep the citizens or the nation from harm. While working, I will adhere only to the statutes and principles of the office. We agree, but we didn't do so well last time with that, so I don't know. Thank you for ensuring the safety of the nation's people. Your registration is now complete. Okay. Interesting. Welcome, Agent. Thank you for heeding the call of the office. Agent Investigator Pairing. The following investigators are available for pairing. Please choose the corresponding profile of the investigator you wish to be paired with, if any. So we can be paired with ourselves from the last game. Interesting. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, aptitude test. In order to qualify for special duty within Orwell, taking the aptitude test is mandatory. The test requires you to complete a series of tests. Follow the on-screen instructions carefully and answer truthfully to the best of your beliefs. Note that an insufficient test result will disqualify you for special duty permanently. Oh boy, are we going to fail immediately? Which of the following statements are true of your attitude? Drag and drop at least one of the highlighted statements or data chunks into the answer sheet. Note that your choices are permanent. I want to be a pioneer in the most advanced security program. I want to make the nation a safer place. I like spying on people. I want to protect people from harm. I am in for the money. I want to make the nation safer. Let's drag that. All right. I want to protect people from harm. Let's do that. All right, and I want to be a pioneer in the most advanced safety security program. We're not in it for the money, and we don't like spying on people. Sometimes they're just required, right? Which of the following persons do you consider likely of having committed a crime? How would I know that just based on what they look like? There's no way to, like... Is there some way to tell what they look like? Person number 1, person number 2, person number 3, person number 4. I'm just gonna skip that. There's no way I could possibly know based on what they look like. That's silly. Which of the following statements do you consider to be true, if any? An unjust law can and should be violated. It depends on whose eyes it's unjust in, right? Like, I don't know. That's kind of like, it's a law because the government passed it. I don't know. I don't think that's just like 100% yes for me. There is no such thing as a justified lie. There's no such thing as a justified lie. I mean, a lie is a lie, right? There are two sides to every story. I mean, yeah, that's true. They could still be a wrong side, right? A government should safeguard the citizens by any means necessary. Absolute truth exists, sure. I think there's two sides to every story. I mean, because if there's multiple people involved, sure. They might not be right, but they could still have a side of their story, right? All right, so let's see. Given the choice, would you prefer to have your medical record or your dating profile investigated? I would rather have my medical record investigated. I would rather have my dating profile investigated. Okay. Sure, let's go with medical. I mean, I don't see why it matters. Confronted with the situation below, which action would you take? Your best friend boasts about having been accepted into Orwell. Since you are working for Orwell yourself, you know that talking about your job is punishable by imprisonment. Without saying anything to my friend, I inform the national authorities at the next possibility. I warn my friend I am working for Orwell too, and that I will have to inform the authorities if this continues. I feign ignorance, but hint my friend talking about such a delicate job might not be advisable. I would think, let's think about this. If we were actually working for a secret government program, unless we literally were sitting there beside our friend, we probably, I mean, that's kind of like tantamount to giving out classified information, I would think, right? Like, and that's just not okay. But I don't like the without saying anything to my friend part. I honestly, I can't say that one because I can't say I'm working for Orwell too. I feel like it's a mix between these two. Like, I would want to say something to my friend, but at the same time, I don't know. Would we just... I guess if we signed an NDA, right? And we know we're not supposed... We'd have to assume everyone signed an NDA. I mean, it sucks, but you're supposed to disclose. If people are being insider threats and such, you're supposed to say who it is, even if they're your friend. Insufficient results, you failed the aptitude test. You will be disqualified permanently. Oh no. Okay, the office has rejected you as an agent for special duty due to your answers in the aptitude test, but if you ask for it, the test shall be reset and you will be given another chance. My choices were poor. Let me redo the test. I cannot change my answers as they reflect my honest opinions. Okay, so we'll redo the test, and this time we'll tell them exactly what they want to hear, right? Oh.
Hello, O'Brien.
Or
Is
not.
that you?
I have to disappoint you.
What? Raban, what? How? After all this time? I didn't think you'd...
Remember what you did? Again, I must disappoint you. I've not been blessed with a short memory.
What? Raban, listen.
Welcome,
It
agent.
wasn't me. I don't know anything about what happened there. That's the truth.
Truth. See, I never had much regard for the Bible, but there's one remarkable, groundbreaking moment. Before being sentenced to death, Jesus goes on and on about being a witness for the truth. But Pilate defies him with the simplest of all questions. What is truth? It is this particular question I've been pondering over for a very long time now. How much of the information ending up on our screens every single day has passed through so many other minds before?
Everything's
each one
all
with their own
connected.
bias and agenda. It is all cut down to size, proportioned, ready to be consumed. And yet we greedily swallow it all in blissful ignorance. Because our hunger is unending.
Oh boy.
Stop the nonsense and get to the point. What do you want?
To ask you a question. What is truth?
I don't understand.
Now you're the disappointing one. You of all people should, Oleg Bakay. There is only one thing about truth that is certain. Truth is dead. As you soon will be.
What? Why? You. How did you manage? How?
Oh boy.
What?
What? What just happened? Hey, Everett, welcome in. I'm not familiar with this game. It looks interesting. It's very interesting. It's very dystopian. Big Brother is watching you. and we have to investigate people from behind the scenes. So it's super interesting. I like it. Okay. Uh, so you think you can redo the aptitude test just like that? That's either downright naive or you are willing to shift the truth to your liking. You might be exactly whom I need. I mean, we were going to put down just exactly what we thought they needed, so I guess so. My name is Ampleford. I am part of a special division within the government, the office. We get called in for the delicate matters. A man called Oleg Bakay disappeared a couple of days ago. The last we heard of him was the call I just played to you. I have added a transcript of the dialogue to your reader tool. You can read it again or listen to the recording. When you're done, open the unknown person's profile on the left. Okay, so we heard all of this, right? So, I don't know exactly what we'll need to do, but let's go ahead and open the profile. Since you are paired with an investigator, I'll assume you are familiar with the procedure and spare you most technicalities. For starters, upload Oleg Bekay's name from the transcript to his file by dragging it into the profiler on your left. Okay, yeah, so we need to drag his name over, of course. Done. Good. The profile is now primed on Oleg Bakay. Now other data chunks related to his person might appear. Check the transcript for newly found data chunks. Alright. Truth is dead, as you soon will be. Let's see what else there is. That's the only data chunk that's available. He threatened him. That's an odd thing to say, isn't it? We're taking that as a death threat, as did the National Beholder. I mean, that's the way I'm taking it, right? One related document. So let's see. Is the National Beholder is the most respectable news site in the nation. You may browse their headlines freely to get informed. The recording of the call you heard ended up in their newsroom. Why? That's a piece of the puzzle we're missing right now. However, the article is a good starting point for our investigation on Oleg Bakay. To proceed, please adapt his picture and profession. Okay. Let's see. Is anti-Khazar blog involved in Pargesian soldiers' disappearance? Okay. Recorded call indicates direct involvement of blog The People's Voice in the disappearance of Pargesian army officer Oleg Bakay. Okay. Let's read the article and then we'll drag the data chunks over. An audio recording of a phone conversation between Pargesian army officer Oleg Bakay and Raben Vart was leaked to the National Beholder late Monday evening. Raben Vart is known as the editor-in-chief and founder of the highly controversial blog The People's Voice. In the ominous recording, which has since been verified by experts, the editor directly threatens the officer, claiming that Bakay would be dead soon. In the light of Bakay's recent disappearance, experts have developed a theory that the blog might be directly involved in or may otherwise have incited the incident. The fact that the recording was leaked by an anonymous source to the National Beholder has been interpreted as a direct threat to the Khazar administration of Parges and their alliance with the nation, which the blog openly and aggressively opposes. So Robert Vart is known as the editor-in-chief. Okay, so maybe he wasn't exactly threatening him. Maybe he had information and he was sharing it, right? And then what was shared was edited. Raven Vart, that's the name that Oleg Bakay mentioned during the call. Let's focus on Bakay for a moment. We will get back to Vart in a second. Okay, let's go ahead and drag his picture in, right? The Pargesian army officer has recently gone missing. Not exactly the most tender smile, but that's not what we're here for after all. Of course not. All right. I see that the time is advancing as we do this. Okay. Did we not? Okay, so that one only got that we spoke to him. Let's go ahead and drag this in as well, that he's an army officer. Okay, we got a related document. As you see, Oleg Bakay is an important figure in the Parges army, our neighboring country. We're very concerned about his fate. Okay. Was there something else here? I don't know. I think maybe we got everything we needed off of this one. Let's check this. This is the Army of Parjas. Captain Oleg Bakay. Okay, so he is a captain. Let's drag that over. That's important. Call sign. That might be important. Agent, you may have noticed by now that for every data chunk you upload, 10 minutes of time pass due to Orwell's extensive search algorithms. The events around us unfold whether or not we are making progress on our case. Keep this in mind. Okay, so we need to be careful. We have a permanent time limit on us. Okay. So let's look at all the information first before we drag information over. The call sign could be important. He served from 2006 to today. He was in the 1st Infantry Division of Prava, field military officer. He had a Medal of Honor. Let's see. He volunteered for military service, basic combat training completed, assigned for protection of Prava from the ongoing threat through anti-government group Forces of True Parjas during the Prava Civil War, promoted to corporal, promoted to sergeant, awarded the Medal of Honor for saving civilians, wounded in combat, officially absent from service, returned, reinstated as captain by privileged command, in charge of 1st Infantry Division Prava, worked with 1st Law Enforcement Battalion of the Army of the Nation, training the local forces in Prava. Okay, so I think let's drag his call sign over. That might get us another piece of information we can grab. Janice, how fitting he still goes by the call sign. I'm granting you access to our database, which you should have a look at. You'll understand it better after you see the files. Okay, we'll come back to this, but let's look. Search the database. Okay, well, yes, we are in fact worried about our relations with Parjas because of Bakay. You will see that the whole truth is more complex. As you are not a simple investigator, you have access to an Orwell build design to meet the specific needs of the office. We can utilize the data stored in the profiler in left to circumvent certain restrictions that would otherwise bar us from making progress. Okay. Make good use of this ability within our database and the data stored in Bakay's profile so far to solve my little mystery. Okay, so we can insert this call sign, right? Insert the data here. Can we not drop here? We're trying to. There we go. Janice, what do we got? Oh! You did it. Well done. I'll leave you to your well-deserved info for a moment to truly understand why this case is so precarious. Alright, so let's look at it. We have a new portrait. Oleg Bakay, Janice. Okay, date of birth, May 4th, 1975. He's a Pargesian. Address is redacted. Department's redacted. Confidential informant as officer of the Pargesian Army. We do have a phone ID. That's going to be important. Tends to use names of people close to him as passwords. This has been strongly discouraged, but so far ignored by the subject. All right. Let's add this. Okay. Yes, Bakay is our informant, placed inside the Pargesian army for years, now vanished into thin air. You surely grasp the danger this poses should it ever come out. We need to understand what happened, and then possibly retrieve him, or contain the damage. To get to the bottom of this, we will have to investigate the persons who called him last. Raven Vart. You already found a trace of him before on the Beholder. I will turn Vart into a target person now. Time to pick up from there. Also, we're going to drag the phone ID over as well, because that could be important. Luckily, Bakay is using one of our registered phone devices to communicate with us. It seems to be online right now. You can access it using the Insider tool, which I will unlock for you now. Alright, so let's see. We have his desktop. Enter key. Of course, Bakay has locked his phone with our own encryption tool. I'm afraid not even Orwell can break that. You'll have to do this the old-fashioned way, by finding and applying Bakay's key. See if you can find a hint to discover his password. You may have to dig a little deeper to uncover it, though, so it may be advisable to check other resources first. Yeah, okay, so we know he uses the name of people close to him as passwords. I don't know if we need to drag that over. I mean, we could try it. That'll give us 10 minutes. It's fine. I don't know if that's important, but we'll see. Of course we do inspect and observe the habits of our agents. What did you expect? Okay. So I guess we maybe didn't need to bring that to his attention, but let's see. Phone call transcript. What else do we got? Is there anything else here that we need? I don't know. Let's go back to the transcript and see if there's some data chunks that we can drag for Vart, right? It doesn't seem like it for that. All right, well, let's keep looking. We have history. Let's see, a history of bravery. Our forces have a long tradition of protecting the Pargesian country and our values courageously and relentlessly. The Pargesian army, as it exists today, was formed by General Dimjan Kassart as he freed Parges from the oppressive Biad regime in 2004. In spite of the successful re-establishment of peace and freedom in Parges, evil forces still threaten the Pargesian people. The hate group Forces of True Parges, FTP, caused a new conflict in 2006, interesting that year's popping up again, by evoking a civil war among Pargesian citizens using hate speech and propaganda to pull the shaken people of Parges on their side. In spite of the Pargesian army successfully defeating the renegade group in 2008 with the help of the National Army, their guerrilla war remained and peaked in the attack on our allies, the nation, in form of the incident of 2008. The goal was to promote fear against Parges and Pargesian citizens because civil unrest between the two nations. The Blaine administration of the nation then returned to help Parges control the troubling situations in regards to the FTP in our country. So, okay, I guess that's a little bit of information about just like what all is going on around in the world at the time. Maybe we drag this, right? 1st Infantry Division. Maybe it might unlock a new data chunk. Doesn't seem like it. All right. Need to be careful. What else can we do? Was there something else here? Oh, okay. So we can go to Vart. All right. So Vart is the editor-in-chief. So maybe we'll get the people's voice, right? Yes, the people's voice, and we have heard of them. This preposterous news site has people rallying for protests in Parges for years. Judging by that call, Rabin Vart and Oleg Bakay seem well acquainted, even if it isn't the most friendly relationship, apparently. Your task here is twofold, Agent. First and foremost, we are to locate Oleg Bakay, because he's like a double Asian, I guess? Then, in order to understand whether Vart is behind Bakay's disappearance, we need to find out what connects the two in the first place. I guess he's not a double agent, he's just a spy, right? Alright, the people's voice. Save Parges? One more thing before I let you roam freely. Remember that we are bound to the division of powers defined by the Ethical Codex. You are now leaving charted territory as far as I'm concerned, and I have to rely on the data you upload to make my calls. Doubt anything you read, especially when it comes to the people's voice. Don't give me wrong info to work with. I'm counting on you. Okay. The nation burns again. 3 people are murdered because of Blaine's incompetence, but guess who will be blamed? Let's see. Blood runs in the streets of the nation as it sees itself confronted by the next big act of terror right in its heart, the capital, Bonton. 3 people have been brutally massacred right under the government's ever so watchful eye, and much to the surprise of all media outlets. It didn't surprise me, not one bit. If you know it, even though no one will, you all know it, even though no one dares speak out. The nation is corrupt leadership, and all of their deluded flock who elected them carry the weight of the Freedom Plaza bombing victims upon their shoulders. Their false promises of safety have finally been unmasked for what they really are, a means to put themselves in power and uphold their reign of terror. What a farce this country is. Thanks to the people's voice and our efforts to get the facts out to the people, the situation in the nation has recently been rather calm. Still, there is no doubt that the head puppet master Blaine will point his finger towards us Pargesians. Exactly this has been happening for years, dating all the way back to the so-called incident in 2008, when the entire Pargesian people were blamed by the party. Here's what I say to that. As long as Blaine and Cassart remain in power, the best thing the nation can do is what it's actually doing right now, burning down to the ground. Oh boy. What's the next article? President Puppet stops re-election plans. Hold Cassart accountable for breaking his word. Rejoice, re-elections at last. This was your moment. This was your thinking last week as much as it was mine. Finally, years of torment will come to an end. But no, all of a sudden, President Puppet has taken a big step back, even the promise to hold re-elections. Now he acts like he never even knew it was expected, let alone that he is the one who had announced it to the public. He must either be suffering from a severe case of dementia or simply a liar. Does President Cassart think we're downright stupid? How does he even dare? We're not blind. We're not deaf, for all we know. Cassart is being controlled by the nation's shady administration. I mean, that just says he believes it, so, you know, it could be something. We will oppose this. Cassart and his puppeteer Blaine must be held accountable for their repeated crimes against the Pargesian people. They have betrayed and bled out our poor country for far too long already. This is a call to arms. Stand up and march the streets of Triflith tomorrow. Updates on this via our Blabber account at People's Voice. Okay, so this gives us extra information. This will definitely be more data chunks. So 100% we need to do this. And he said, let there be riots. And there were riots. How did this man gain such an immense influence over his followers? I don't know, but we got what we needed. We got another data chunk. Let's see what else is on here. About us, we're an independent collective devoted to providing you with the facts that mainstream media outlets try to hide. Okay. Can we drag a picture over here? We got his photo. All right, editors. We strive to publish the truth. Who is this? Is this like his brother? Ilya Vart, lead editor. Shannon Karilla, media watchdog. Daniel Buchanan, field reporter. Pargis. Supported through donations. As a nonprofit organization, we are funded solely through donations. The People's Voice is supported by the Angels of the Nation Network, a volunteer team who provide development assistance in Pargis. Okay. Get in touch. Reach out to our editor-in-chief, Rabin Vart. Okay, let's add his work email. All information that links to him is probably important. Very good. This will allow you to observe his work email account through the listener tool. Once Rabin Vart receives an email or sends one through that account, you will be notified and be able to read it. Okay. So, let's see. No communications recorded. That's fine. Let's see what else we got. Blabber. People's Voice. Okay. Reactions to is anti-Cassart blog involved. All right. And Pargesian soldier's disappearance. All right. Let's see. The lone Triflith survivor. People's Voice. What did you mean when you said Oleg Bakay would not be missed? Did you retire him? Let's see. Survivor 94. This is a misunderstanding. I am not happy either that Oleg Bakay has gone missing. One thing is certain, Oleg Bakay will certainly not be missed. Where's the conflict? Yeah, these two are in conflict with each other. Which one? Which one is it? I am not happy. The soldier is not the one to blame here. He will certainly not be missed. What does that mean? This article is ridiculous propaganda. Mainstream media have been manipulating your thoughts since the dawn of humanity. Time to get rid of this enemy. What is that? You've used mainstream media as the enemy? The National Liar is okay. That's the article we already read, right? So I'm confused. He responded to her. One thing's certain, he will certainly not be missed. Is satisfied with Oleg Bakay having disappeared. He will not be missed, but he didn't say they won't miss it. The soldier is not the one to blame here. I think this is the more accurate one because he clarified his statement, right? Let's see. Isn't happy about Oleg's disappearance. How come I don't buy it? Why, yes, of course. The death threat uttered in the phone call. That's why. Alright. What have you done, Raven? Also, we have something on listener from an unknown person. Good luck. Raven, I see you've decided to make use of my gift to you. A good choice. I am of the impression that everything will come to pass exactly as I anticipated. Good luck, and I hope you will achieve our common goals. Okay. He has a fan. I don't know that's important yet, but we'll see. People's voice. It sounds like they're accusing us of having kidnapped or killed this man. What have you done to Oleg Bakay, Raven? Tell us the truth. That's in relation to the article. Let's not jump to conclusions. I am sure that Raven can offer an explanation. I'm starting to doubt whether TPV represents what I stand for. We sell ourselves as a blog for the Pargesian people, defending their rights and protecting their freedom. As part of that, it is our duty to criticize the Pargesian government, and the military is a prime target. However, I never signed up to be labeled as a criminal. We don't threaten people, we don't kidnap people, and we certainly do not kill people. Calm down, Shannon. Since when do you believe that what the National Beholder prints? They are only trying to frame us. I have nothing to do with Bakay's disappearance. Did I call him? Sure. Did I get a little aggressive? I did. You see, Bakay and we have a history. Before we left Parges, Bakay had his mind set on joining the Pargesian army. He asked me to take care of his 14-year-old daughter, and I said yes. But soon after, instead of returning to his daughter, I learned he had left for the nation. He said he wanted to find work there. Then all of a sudden, he returns and ranks up to an officer in the army. I'm fairly certain he works for the national government in some way. He may have his password as his 14-year-old daughter, right? However, I have nothing to do with his disappearance and would never kidnap or kill a man. Do not believe the lies of the National Beholder. I was unaware of all this. I believe you, but I really think you should watch what you say, Raven. This is starting to get way too intense. This is getting people worked up in both countries. I'm with Shannon on this. I also believe you, Raven, but you should really choose your words more wisely. We always wanted to criticize. One could even say fight against the Cassart administration and their shady ties to blame, but we don't want them to regard us as national enemies, and this fight should remain one of words. You guys are disappointing me. I thought you had it in you. Don't let them intimidate you like that. These are just empty threats. We have to stand our ground now more than ever. We're not saying we disagree with you, Raven. We're just saying watch what you say. Huh, okay. Interesting. This is the back end. Who all are the users? Okay, so Raven, creator of the People's Voice, Giving Truth a Chance from the Front Lines of Parges, lead editor. Shannon is an expatriate of Parges, moving across to the nation in 1987 to chase the dream of being an investigative journalist. After being subjected to the corruption of the National Beholder, Shannon joined the People's Voice to offer their expertise to shed some light on the growing tensions in the region. Let's see. Daniel is our field reporter located in the capital city of Parges. He gets us the truth fast before the others can spin it, direct from his political and social connections due to his excellent networking and reporting skills. A valued member of the team here at the People's Voice. Alright, so the log, changed the header image, made changes to the donations, signed off pending article. Drafts, no drafts. Alright. Alright, what else do we got? Let's see. It should be back this one. Okay. I have nothing to do with Bakay's disappearance. Admitted to having called and threatened Oleg Bakay, denies being involved in his disappearance. Okay. Let's see. Has a daughter. Let's drag this to him. Let's drag this one to our other guy. Rabin Vart mixes truth and lies adeptly to trick people. Take whatever he publishes with a grain of salt, as there are typically few truths. Be very, very careful when dealing with him, Agent. I have to rely solely on you. Okay, what is this in conflict with? We haven't discovered it yet. We need to add this other bit to Oleg's. He has a daughter. That's probably his password, right? I knew it. Ah, I see. The two knew each other from back where they lived in Parges. Well done, Agent. With the basic connection between the two clarified, our in-depth research of the lead up to this phone call can now begin. I need you to investigate and upload anything you think is relevant and accurate about the background of these two. Discard anything else. From what you gather, I will put together a theory about what happened and what we're going to do about it. At the very least, we need a solid motive for Rabin Vart making this threat to Oleg Bakay and an explanation as to how Vart could contact him on his protected phone. If you need to help keep track of your objectives, click on the Orwell eye in the upper left-hand corner of the screen or press escape. Alright. Well, let's see what other resources got unlocked. Let's see. Did we get some more information here, maybe? Not yet. Let's see. Is there something on the history we can drag? I don't think so. Nothing here. We can say welcome. Protection, perseverance, and preservation and perseverance. Proud to serve the people of Parges. And then it goes to the history. Alright. What are you planning on doing? What are you planning on doing against the FTP? My family and I are thinking about leaving Prava. We've been living in this beautiful town for generations and do not want to leave. But since the FTP started the Civil War, we do not feel safe here anymore. What are you planning on doing against them? This is from Jelena Lavrova. Mayor Grabovac says, Dear Miss Lavrova, the administration of Prava is currently in contact with the officials in the Pargesian army in order to get some troops to protect the town from the FTP. There is not much else we can do at the current time, so we ask you to stay in a safe place and remain as calm as possible given the circumstances. Okay, Thomas Shernan says, this is a joke, right? Keep calm. People are dying out there. Mrs. Toscala says, my greatest concern is the well-being of my children. They both attend Prava Secondary, but I would rather make them stay at home during times like these, especially since I already lost my husband who died serving in the Pargesian army. But teachers at Prava Secondary have been strongly urging me to let them go to school. How do you plan on protecting our schools, Mayor Grabovac? This is our most important issue right now. Okay, Rabin has something to say. I sincerely understand your concerns, Ms. Toscala. As the school's principal, I will therefore consider our options on how to protect the schools and Prava Secondary in particular. Okay, that could be useful. Let's add that. Alright, we found a related document. Well, that might explain his preachy attitude. Alright. We can't click on his name, right? Thomas Shernan says, I don't believe you. Everyone here keeps talking about how we're supposed to change things in Prava, but nobody ever takes action. We're going to leave Prava and Parges. Goodbye, folks. It's been really mediocre to know you. Oleg Bakay said, leave Parges, and that is how you abandon not only your hometown, but your own home country, and go where? The nation? This pitiful stretch of land? Never. Believe me, you would be better off dying as a loyal citizen of Parges than as an inferior renegade. In fact, I have devised my own way how to protect Prava and show that I am a true Pargesian patriot. I am going to volunteer for the Pargesian army and fight to free this country from the plague known as the FTP. I bet this is the conflicting data chunk, right? Doesn't think highly of the nation and never wants to go there? Yep. Left Parges for the nation to find work. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure that out. Seriously, Oleg? You have a daughter? She's only 11 years old and she needs you? Please don't make any hasty decisions right now. Besides, if I may dare to say so, I do think the FTP is fighting for the right causes, maybe with the wrong methods. After all, I don't believe Cassart will be doing us any good considering how he rose to power. And mind you, Cassart's ties to the nation are more than fishy. So this was when his daughter was 11, right? I do think FTP is fighting for he sympathizes with the forces of true Parjas. But this was 2006, so that might not be the most recent stuff. Let's see. Mind you, Raven, please don't tell me you are a terrorist sympathizer now. Oh, we have her name. As for my daughter, Radka, you have been one of her biggest role models for years now. You know her well, and she loves your classes. May I boldly ask you to take care of her while I'm gone? So we'll drag that, because that's probably his password. I see you found your first non-target person. Good, or we'll keep track of them, but no data chunks or new documents for them will appear. I must authorize them to become a target person first, and I will only do so if I feel it is necessary. Okay. We've got another one. Let's see. Good luck. This is from Raven to an unknown person. David, thank you for your ongoing support and your kind words as always. You have proven yourself to be a true supporter of our cause. You will want to watch the news. I have no doubts there will be a great stir very soon. Interesting. Alright, this is from another unknown person. Ilya, okay. Dear, hey Raven, I finished the article you sent me and scheduled it for 3 p.m. like you asked. Don't know if it'll be available, if I'll be available for another one. I'm going to be a bit occupied tonight. Maybe I can spare time remotely if I get a chance. One more thing, this Bouquet thing is getting ugly. Lots of TMB believers are flooding us with threats on Blabber. Did you read any of that? Creeping me out. You know, I'd go to any length with you, just like when we moved to the nation. You're my brother. Nothing changes any of that. It's even fine if you're not telling the whole truth. What about Karen? They even insult her. She doesn't deserve to be treated that way. Do you think it's about time you gave out a statement? You can easily debunk these lies. Let's see. He has a brother, immigrated to the nation. I mean, yeah, that could be important. Let's go ahead and drag that on. We gotta kind of get a big picture of what's going on here, right? Alright, but first, now what I want to try before we go too much further, I want to see if this might be his password. Maybe? It was. Orwell reports you have removed the encryption from Bouquet's device. Open sesame. Good work, Agent. That will aid us greatly. Alright, so let's check his call history. We have Vart's number. Okay, that would be good. Now we can monitor this. Perfect. With this number, we can track Raven Vart's calls to and from his mobile phone within the listener tool. Unknown person, do you want to tune in? Yes, let's tune in. Let's see what happens. Is he going to answer?
Karen, my love.
Oh boy.
Hey.
We get a voice
Having
actor
a
this time.
Good day?
Yeah. So far so good. I called to tell you I'll be home late today. I'm sorry.
Again? They don't pay you enough for all the time you give them.
It's not about payment, and you know that. These people rely on me. They need me.
Yeah? Well, I need my wife at home with me some of the time. Am I asking for too much?
Oh boy.
Raban, not so long ago, you were among them. You have been in their position.
Yes, I know that. So was Ilya, so were the others. Yet none of us were national soldiers responsible for invading and ravaging countries. If it weren't for them driving refugees out in the first place, why, we wouldn't need these camps.
This again? We talked about this multiple times.
I'm well aware that this extra time you spend there is for her, isn't it?
Raban, she is... I'm worried, that's all. She's more reclusive now than ever.
Ooh.
Something isn't right.
One more reason to avoid her.
You want me to cherry pick who deserves my assistance and who doesn't? All people
Okay.
get the same treatment, the same attention. That's my mandate. I thought you loved that about me.
I do. You're right. Of course you are. You always are.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, are you good with me getting home late tonight then?
I am.
Thank you.
I will be waiting for you.
No, don't wait. It might get late.
Well, I can hardly go anywhere else.
You shouldn't say things like that. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
See you.
Okay, so what did we find out? We find out that his wife married to Karen Vart. Okay, so that's important probably. All right, we found a related document. Makes me wonder how it must feel to be married to this guy. Okay, I mean, you do kind of have some 2 dead after second explosion. What? What is going on? We have some news going on here. Let's go home. Breaking news, 2 dead after second explosion. Wait. Bomb obliterates Freedom Memorial and kills 3. So this is what we heard about before. Detonation destroys the Freedom Memorial in Boonton. 3 people killed, 5 severely injured. Terrorist ambition suspected as a mysterious letter reaches authorities. At approximately 7:50 p.m. on Wednesday evening, what day is this? This is April 13th. So this is right now. An explosive device detonating at the Freedom Plaza in Boonton. According to official police reports, 3 people were killed. At least 5 bystanders were severely wounded. The Freedom Memorial was nearly completely destroyed. Police forces closed off the area immediately. Experts believe the attack was an act of terror, with police confirming that the explosive device was homemade and triggered from a short distance away using a cell phone signal. Police reports also confirm that several hours earlier, an anonymous letter containing the first 3 stanzas of the German folk song, Die Gedanken sind frei, the thoughts are free, had reached the local authorities. So this is the first game. Prime Minister Blaine immediately issued a public press statement firmly condemning the assault and put the nation on high alert until the perpetrators have been brought to justice. Okay. So, yeah, that is the first game. Crime rates can continue to drop. The Ministry of Security has presented latest numbers on crime statistics in the country. Never before have there been so few violent crimes. This is right after a bombing. Like, that totally makes sense. On Thursday morning, literally the day after the bombing, the Ministry of Security published the new crime statistics report for the preceding year. According to the report, the number of recorded criminal offenses decreased by 4.8% in comparison to last year. The crime rates have been continuously declining over the past several years as a direct result of the implementation of the safety bill. Secretary of Security Catherine Delacroix appeared very pleased with these numbers and declared this development an outstanding result of successful safety policy. When confronted with the recent assault in Boonton, she once again admitted the ambitious goals of the government have not yet been accomplished. She further mentioned that activities are currently being established which will have a considerable impact preventing further incidents. So that's the thing that we actually have looked at this in the last game. It's this grid that talks about how the crime has decreased, and it also talks about the Parges peacekeeping mission. And if we need to see that, we will come back to that. But this was like, we've already looked at all of this before. I'm just going to click on them so we have them in our memory blank. Parges peacekeeping mission, because some of these could be important. This is talking about Robert Blaine. Now his name has come up, so that could be useful. Projects, participate. All right, so that's all of that. I just wanted to make sure we had that. I remember we have so much stuff to look at, man. What else? What are you doing against them? Did we get all the way through and go where to the nation? All right, so we stopped here. Mind you, Raven, please don't tell me you're a terrorist sympathizer now. As for my daughter, Radka, okay, so we read that. I am not a terrorist sympathizer, Oleg, and I'm certainly not on their side. All I'm saying is that you should try thinking a bit more critically towards this government of ours. Regarding Radka, I do not approve of you leaving her like that, and I am also not a Pargesian army sympathizer. By the way, if you truly wish to choose this path and join the army, I will not let you and her down. Okay? And then Oleg says, thank you, I really appreciate this. We do have our disagreements sometimes, but you're a good person and a good teacher, Raban. Okay, so I feel like Oleg is maybe a bit touchy. Let's see, Prava City News. Jerome's Flowers is looking for a new florist. Since Jerome's wife Yelena is retiring, Jerome's Flowers is currently looking for a new florist. The applicant should love working with people as well as plants in case you're interested. Is any of this going to be relevant? I wonder. Town Hall restoration works to continue. Expected to complete in July. Mammoth skeleton found in outer edges of Prava. New Prava Citizen Board for residents. I don't know. Since the situation in Parges is slowly calming down and we all need to stick together after years of conflict and war in our beloved home country, the city administration has decided to provide citizens of Prava with a new way of connecting and communicating. Whether you're in need of household devices, would like to share useful knowledge with your neighbors, or just wish to chat, the Prava Online Forum provides residents with a new way of local communication. You may sign up for the Prava Citizens Board if your home address is registered in Prava. Please contact the Resident Affairs Office in case you're interested in participating in our online community. Please stick together and be nice to your neighbors during these difficult times. Okay, that's interesting. Visitors, is there anything here? Being a part of the province of Vojvodina, Prava is situated in the heart of Parges at the bottom of Mount Banj. The urban area of Prava has approximately 34,500 inhabitants, and we are very proud to be one of the few places in Parges where avid bird watchers can spot the long-eared owl, one of the many famous symbols of Prava. Prava Town Hall is the most iconic masterpiece of architecture in town. We have numerous parks which attract bird watchers from all over the country, as well as from abroad. Hunting is one of the most popular sports in Prava, which is why we have about 300 square kilometers of hunting grounds. Permitted hunting permits for wildlife cover rabbits, pheasants, and deer. All visitors are invited to our tourist office in the center of Prava, open on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., closed on Wednesdays. Okay. Let's see, what else do we got? People's Voices. What else do we have here? Alright, so this is new stuff. Alright, tell us the truth about what happened to Oleg Bakay. Save Bakay. Okay. People's Voices. So you started threatening Pargesian soldiers now? This is just going too far. Alright, he's being attacked about him allegedly threatening. That could be important. Time to get rid of this enemy. That does look suspicious. It kind of looks like get rid of this enemy, and then you have the picture here. I know that that's probably not what he meant, but it looks really bad for him. We have some news here. This is a secondary school. Principal determined to keep school service going. 29th of November 2010. Latest news report stated that the troops of terrorist group FTP are getting closer to Prava, which made many parents raise concerns about sending their children to school. Therefore, to ensure the safety of pupils and teachers, the school administration has requested protection by the Pargesian army. Okay, that could be important. The school administration, I mean, maybe. Despite the situation remaining tense in our beloved community in Prava, Mr. Vart said to keep the lessons going and is determined to provide ongoing education to our students. We ensure your children's safety at Prava Secondary School, the principal stated. Education is one of the highest values assets that we have, and we will not give it up because of a meaningless war that is designed to frighten us and keep us from living our lives, he continued. Let's see. Prava Secondary Library to be reconstructed into a bomb shelter. Due to current events related to the war, the school administration has now decided to provide a protective hideout from combat activities by upgrading our library to a completely autonomous shelter situated in the basement of the school. Okay, since it lies a few feet underground, it is an appropriate shelter against the horrors of war that your children should never be exposed to. We will continuously do our best to provide a safe space for children and families in these exceedingly difficult times. Okay. Let's see. Provost Secondary now offering child daycare. School attendance of many pupils has recently been decreasing. Many teenagers are needed at home by their families to look after younger siblings or to make up for missing parents who fight in the ongoing war. While we understand the necessity of this, we urge all parents not to take their children out of school. It is not only important for their emotional health and ongoing routine, as well as meeting similarly aged children on a daily basis is important. Visiting school every day is also essential for teenagers' mental growth and education, enabling them to build themselves a better future outside of the horrors of war and conflict. In order to help you with the burdens of bringing up several children while guaranteeing them a minimum living standard, we have started an afternoon child care service for younger siblings. I feel like he's being really pushy with the bring your kids to school bit. Like, I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical about his motivations there. Nikki Bellington wins Prava Secondary's annual math contest. This is okay. So these are oldest to newest at the top. The school administration is proud to announce this year's winner of our annual math contest, Nikki Bellington. She has achieved excellent results on both trigonometry and stochastic theory, and we are very happy to award her with the Prava Math Scholarship, which includes her participation in the Worldwide Math Contest in Bonton, the nation. I feel like that's just so suspicious, you know? Like, I don't know. Okay, Mr. Ravenvart. He was subjects as teacher, English and philosophy. Maybe that's important, I don't know. Ravenvart has been principal of Prava Secondary School since May 2001. His main subjects are English and philosophy, additionally substituting for Pargesian history if necessary. Principal Vart holds a degree in English literature and has spent a semester abroad in the nation as a student. His knowledge of language and culture has been extensively valuable both for the quality of his lessons and his continuously clear vision for a forward-thinking sociable school culture. Then we have some other teachers here. Anything of interest? I don't know. History. She's been teaching history since the school was rebuilt in 1995. What's the mission? Prava Secondary mission. The mission of Prava Secondary School is to prepare our students to become independent learners with the mindset, skills, and abilities necessary for lifelong success. This requires student-centered learning supported by educators, families, and our community. Please find our school records of attendance via the following link. Search through Prava Secondary Attendance Database. Okay, what about his daughter? Like, can we search for her? What will we find? There are no... Oh. Wait, what? Search through... Oh, we insert a date. Okay. Is there some date that we have? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. What about... Do you have a date in any of your information? Called to take to the streets. He's not been a teacher right there. Or he wasn't principal then. Okay, so that's interesting. We need to come back with a date here. What do we have on the insider? Let's take a peek at that. Desktop. We can go back to this again. Sec message. Warning, I fear that my cover might have blown and I suspect Ravenvart to be behind it. If this is true, this could seriously hurt us. Am now proceeding according to the protocol for a situation like this. Moving to secret location in order to conceal my whereabouts. Okay. When in hiding according to plan. I mean, that's gotta be important, right? What is that supposed to mean? Hiding? You mean voluntarily? There was no plan which included going and hiding anywhere. Really? Tried to warn the office about him supposedly having been revealed by... Okay, well, if there was no plan, Let's hold off on that. Let's look first. Gallery. Okay, that's an awesome picture. What is, you just have a picture of books? What? That's weird. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. Okay. Eye trace. Displaying locations of the last 24 hours. Current location 22. At least that's the current location of his phone. So that might be important. Let's just hang on. Oh, that's who it was. Renat Butasov, Libby Briggs, Benjamin Collins. These are all people that he has contacts with. So the call history, was that out? That looks like it's outgoing, right? Or are these incoming? I don't know. All right, let's see what else we've got. The People's Voice. A journey. We said goodbye to our dear home. See you on the other side. It has been about a week since I started the journey from my hometown Prava to the borders of the nation. Together with my brother Ilya, who was the only family that I have left, I decided to seek a new life elsewhere. We have lost everything, our workplaces, our homes, and many of our friends. I even lost my ability to walk. Really? The situation in Parges is horrible. I do not and will never understand how people can treat each other like this. This is our home country and we never wanted to leave. But now we've been expelled and could not be more heartbroken to witness what is happening in the country where we spent our childhood, learned, lived, and loved. Will life really be better in the nation? We do not know, especially since the most important national news outlet recently published an article suggesting Pargesian refugees to be likely terrorists. All we can currently do is hope that these prejudices are not what the people of the nation stand for. We will soon find out. Wave of Pargesian refugees likely to cause rise in terrorism. The Bonton Institute for Cultural Research hypothesizes on likelihood of rise in terror attacks due to the new wave of refugees coming from Parges. Recent reports published by the Bonton Institute for Cultural Research stated that the likelihood of terrorist attacks has been statistically proven to increase by approximately 10% if the number of refugees from war-torn countries rises above 300,000 per year. Since the 2008 terror incident in the nation, which was executed by terrorists mainly of Pargesian origin, the issue of accepting refugees from Parges has become more and more controversial. The government of the nation has since increased regulations for crossing the Pargesian national border and established several refugee camps throughout the nation in order to oversee and administrate refugee fluctuation with more visibility. Activists criticized this practice as inhumane, while government officials assure that the camps provide a perfectly safe space for refugees from Parges and other foreign countries. Okay. Alright, so this is where we left off on our articles. 2 dead after a second explosion. Explosive charge set off at Steligan University in Bonton. At least 2 people dead, 3 injured. Once again, a letter has been received just before the crime. Is this happening simultaneously as the first game? I'm kind of thinking it is. Half an hour ago, an explosion occurred at the campus of Bonton University. According to latest reports, at least 2 people were killed, with a further 3 injured severely. The area was evacuated immediately. According to yet unconfirmed statements, the City Administration Office of Bonton received an anonymous letter just minutes prior to the detonation, which again contained the first 3 stanzas of the German folk song, Die Gedanken sind frei. Exactly like the letter received before the assault on the Freedom Plaza yesterday. We'll inform you about any developments in this event soon as further details are available. Okay. Wasn't there something about a third explosion happening? I guess not. Okay. Arrival. What we encountered, this is back in 2011, what we encountered in the safe country of the nation was not what we had expected. We finally made it, the glorious nation, where we were hoping to be able to live a normal life, away from the fear and danger that our home country is now plagued with. Unfortunately, what we found upon the arrival in the nation does not seem to be a lot better. We were assigned to the Outer Bonton Reception Camp as a temporary solution. They do not seem to know what to do with us, and the camp is incredibly crowded. The most hilarious thing about this is the media of the nation is telling its citizens a completely different story. We'll check that article out in a second. Reality is the complete opposite. Now, don't get me wrong. I am more than thankful for being able to escape the terrible threat of war in our country, but the situation in this camp is simply dehumanizing. We are being denied basic human rights. Food and bathrooms are rare, and fights over both are common. The only ray of hope is our social worker, Karen. Wife appointed. Okay, so Karen Bart is wife appointed social worker. Oh, okay, so he married his social worker, who seems to be the only one around here who really cares. She does everything possible to help us, and seeing her once a week is one of the few things keeping me going right now. Despite the hardships, we have sworn not to give up. We owe it to our people to make the situation here public and also tell the people of the nation what is really going on, that these safe havens for refugees. I have decided to use this blog to publish facts and facts only about the war in Parges. All right, so let's go ahead and add that to him, right? She was a social worker. Raban Vart married his assigned social worker. Do you find this as odd as I do? Yeah, it is a little weird. That's why I put it on there for you. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Was there? Oh yeah, we got to click the article. Reception camps of the nation give refugees a chance of hope. Secretary of State Arthur Stevenson called reception camps of the nation a chance of hope for all refugees. Criticism has been voiced towards the government administration as the number of refugees fleeing the civil war in Parges continue to rise across the nation's borders. The number of refugees has been dramatically increasing over the past few months, and lobbyists claim that the administration has been far too vague in regards to processes and plans for integration. As a result, the reception facilities are becoming overwhelmed. According to Secretary of State Arthur Stevenson, who gave a press conference regarding the matter on Monday morning, massive improvements have been made to the situation by building up several large refugee camps across the nation. He has called the new reception camp in the outskirts of Bonton a place where all refugees are treated with respect and offered a chance of hope. He particularly thanked the vast amount of volunteers who continue to do their best to make refugees feel safe and welcomed. Okay. Let's see. I think that was all of that. We have two places we can search. Yes, so we have two places we could search. There's more people we could potentially search. An agent call sign. Okay, so we don't have any more agent call signs. That's fine. But let's see. There's more information we can add here. We already added that. Yet none of us were national soldiers responsible for invading and ravaging countries. If it weren't for them driving refugees out in the first place. Okay. So was Ilya, and so were others. Yet none of us were national soldiers responsible for invading and ravaging countries. We wouldn't need these camps. I mean, this just happened, so it's gotta be true. I mean, right? Unless he's a liar to his wife. Invasion, Tisk. Our efforts in Parges were justified operations to restore and keep the peace, and we succeeded, if I might add that. Alright, let's see. We talked about this multiple times. They don't say who she is, so I'm curious. Alright, there's nothing else, right? It's just that. That was the only data chunks. Okay. So, we do have this. Your fan, David Johns. I mean, good luck, and I hope you will achieve our common goals. I don't know who this is, but maybe it's somebody we can get a data chunk link to, possibly. A fan, cute. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. It could be something useful. Thank you for your ongoing support and your kind words as always. You have proven yourself to be a true supporter of our cause. He's in contact with. I have no doubts there'll be a very great stir soon. I think we're going to drag these two and see, right? Because I don't know what the stir is. A supporter, pretty unspecific, huh? Yeah, it is unspecific, but let's drag this as well. We're almost at 1 p.m. For all we know, this guy has been trying to cook up a large-scale stir for years. I don't see it happening quite yet. Yet he has succeeded to some extent with the ongoing riots, but we can keep the situation under control. Okay. I mean, I'm doing my best for you here. Okay, that's all of the information we have there. We still need to figure out about this. We can say, let's go ahead and say that this is where his phone currently is, right? Prava, Oleg Bakay, is in his former hometown. Peculiar. Why is he hiding out there? Or rather, with whom? Raban Vart. Excellent work. We will retrieve Oleg Bakay once we have a clear picture as to why he has gone missing in the first place and what the call meant. Okay. So we did a good. We have his current location. Now the question is, what does that mean? So I feel my cover might have blown. I mean, I guess we're going to drag this. Maybe he's gotten paranoid. I don't know. They said there was no secret location. He tried to warn us that Vart had compromised his cover. How could Vart have done that? How did he know? Keep looking for an answer. There must be something we haven't found about this mess yet. Okay. So we're now at 1:10. We've gotten everything off of his phone for now. So now it's going to be something in here. What do we got? We already know he's Pargesian. I don't think we need to do that. We need to focus on... I think we need to focus on Vart now, right? Let's look at our data chunks and see what we have. What have you done, Raban? I learned... Okay, so this was April 11th. Before we left Parges, Barkay had his mindset on joining the Pargesian army. He asked me to take care of his 14-year-old daughter, and I said yes. But soon after, instead of returning to his daughter, I learned he had left for the nation. He said he wanted to find work there. Left Parges for the nation to find work. Let's show the conflict again and go where the nation. So this was 2003 or no, 2006, right? This was before he joined the army, right? Because it was talking about I have devised my own way to protect Prava and show I'm a true Pargesian patriot. I'm going to volunteer for the Pargesian army and fight to free this country from the plague known as the FTP. What did we find out on his file? Tends to use, okay, confidential informant as officer of the Pargesian army. We really need to know when he joined in, right? I feel like okay, so I feel like Oleg's information is maybe part of his cover, right? Either it's really old or it's part of his cover. If he learned he had left for the nation, that could be motivation. What does the conflict say? It says, doesn't think highly of the nation and never wants to go there. I'm still not sure on that one. Let's skip it for now, because we can't change it once we've done it. You start threatening Pargesian soldiers now. Is being attacked about him allegedly threatening Oleg Bakay. Okay. I guess we drag this. Right? And we'll see. Hope you don't expect me to feel pity for Vart. I don't. Okay. But what about the part where he can't walk? Could that be something important? Maybe. Oh, wait. Oh, we could look here. Okay, okay. Actually, when did he join? He served from 2006. Volunteered for military service. Basic combat training completed. Protection. Assigned for protection of Prava from the ongoing threat during the Prava Civil War. In charge of the 1st Infantry Division, Prava. I don't know. He did start in 2006. I'm not sure. Well, we need to find out some more about him. What is there here? It's supported by the Angels of the Nation Network. Being funded from donations. Maybe we can get a chunk from here, right? Follow the money, right? Supported by a national donation network. If we were to prove that Rabban Vart is using the donations for something harmful, we could pull the plug on him. Okay. I don't know if that helped us or not, but we at least added it. The nation burns again. So this was today. Nation is corrupt leadership and all. Okay, blames assault of the Freedom Plaza on the government. Thanks to the people's voice, has actively calmed the situation in the nation recently. I don't think the situation in the nation has been really calm. Let's see. Blames the assault. I think this is true. He blames the assault on the nation, on the government. Rabban Vart seems like a real charmer after all that the office has learned about him, which is not overly surprising after that phone call, I guess. He won't stop exploiting assaults and misfortune of the nation for his own ends. This moment isn't any different. I cannot help but wonder what that donation network of his would say if someone tipped them towards this statement. Oops. Okay. Well, I don't know what we did. Arrival. This was 2011. So, but we can add the bit about him not being able to walk, right? I even lost my ability to walk. Let's drag that over and see what happens, because I'm curious. Aha, related document. This genuinely surprises me. How did that happen? Looks like you're getting your chance to investigate a medical profile, even if it's not your own, like in the aptitude test. Well, you know. Let's see what happens. We have, we also have a draft. Pending article draft. Article currently has no scheduled publishing time. Crime statistics continue to get faked. Delacroix presents new crime statistics in a way favoring her politicians. But who are the real criminals? Criminals are degenerates who wear striped clothes, monsters who make women and children cry. They are predominantly male, usually foreign, and present a danger to the public. They must be isolated or locked away. Or so goes the cliche that has been hammered into the public consciousness of the nation. Okay. Let's check out his medical record. Alright, Lauren Fitzgerald. Date of birth. I mean, maybe that's important. I don't know. That's gonna put us at 2, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay. This was 2011. What does this say? Can we get, what is Outer Boynton Camp? That's not his current address. I don't think. The most severe symptoms described by the patient are pain and stinging in the lower back area, as well as tingling and occasional complete loss of sensation in the legs. The patient reacts extremely aggressively upon questioning about his condition and is very reticent regarding the exact description of the event that led to his injury. Patient is accompanied by his brother, Mr. Ilya Vart, who offered a more detailed description stating that Raban had been buried by concrete blocks for at least 24 hours following the bombing of a school building in his hometown, Prava. Lost his ability to walk due to being buried under concrete after bombing. Okay. A detailed examination of the patient's legs reveals there is no reaction to any sensation of touch, heat, or cold whatsoever. An examination of the lungs also showed difficulty of breathing and frequent coughing. The patient is not able to walk on his own and is currently being supported by his younger brother. The patient's injury resulted in trauma to the spinal cord and ultimately in paralysis of the lower limbs, paraplegia. A respiratory infection due to weak chest and abdominal muscle is also suspected. Since the patient's condition results in incapability of moving him independently, a request to Bonton Reception Camp Administration for financing of an MWC, a manual wheelchair, for the patient has been filed. In addition, the patient is prescribed hydrocodone for reduction of nerve pain to be taken by mouth every 12 hours. Okay. So that was, we might drag that, we'll see. This was February 11th. We can't do any more. Okay, so it's just that one, right? Well, okay, let's drag it on and see what happens. What? Buried? And he survived this? I mean, things might not be exactly as they appear to be, right? What else do we have? He doesn't currently live in Bonton. That is not true. What else do we have? Do we have another one? A manual wheelchair using let's see, a request to it for financing it. It doesn't say he's in it, but let's go ahead and drag this and see. Okay. Now, let's go back to where it talked about his arrival, right? We were assigned to the Outer Bonton Reception Camp. Okay, so that could be important. Let's mention that. Related document. Okay, he's calling Ilya Vart. Let's tune in. Let's listen. Oh boy.
Ilya Vart speaking.
Brother,
Oh, hey, Raban. I didn't expect you to call. I'm getting ready for work.
I'll be brief. I need your abilities as my co-writer. You must write me an article.
Okay.
Right now, is it important?
It is.
What do you want me to write about?
There has been a second assault in Bonton.
Right,
At
that's...
Stelligan University.
Yes, okay.
Another one? Oh, wow. They really have got a situation here, don't they?
We need to cover it. Draw attention to how the government is failing its people.
I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to pull it off at work. I feel like they're watching me already.
Do you stand with me, brother? Or has the nation's corruption and wealth finally swayed your sympathies?
Oh,
Raban,
boy.
I stand with you. I've told you this.
Then I have faith in you, brother.
Are you preparing a statement about these threats? This has to stop. Are you gonna say something?
Yes.
Ah, great. Finally.
And it is going to be the most remarkable statement I have ever made.
Oh,
The
boy.
destruction of the cooperation between Cassett and Blaine.
Destruction? How?
Patience,
man.
brother. It won't be long now. Take care of the article.
Okay, I will do my best to get it done for you. Give me about an hour for the draft. I'll put it in the back end.
Good.
An hour.
I'll be waiting.
So
until
we
later.
have until
Yeah.
3:25.
Until then.
All right. Well, that was an interesting conversation. That means we are going to have like 6 data chunks that we can drag on before he gets this article drafted. So that's going to be interesting. Plus, we unlocked something new in the reader, but we are going to check all of that out next time. This is just starting to get interesting. Who is actually the guilty party? Is Raban guilty? I mean, he seems guilty. But as we learned in the first Orwell game, just because someone seems guilty doesn't necessarily mean they are. So we have to be very careful with what information we collect here. So we will continue this in the next episode. So I hope you have enjoyed this. If you do like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/thehour27. I have my schedule posted in the about and in the description. And if you want to see which games we're playing each day, I post them on x.com/thehour27. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Until then, guys, bye.